Howdy, Jonesy here. Here we go, another episode of Play It Tough. We're gonna kill Bellanoir in less than 75 seconds. Let's go! Here we go. Little backstory here. I had to start a new character on Steam, so this is the guy I got. It was super frustrating, super irritating. It took a really long time. I was so irritated at one point, I had to go outside and feed my goats some chips and salsa. Because I'm a cowboy, or a goat boy, whatever you want to call it. But after they made me happy again, I came back in and I bred some Jormuntide Ignis, which was also stupid. I don't know why I bred them, because they don't even have legendary or divine dragon like a Jetragon does, and they can only breed with themselves. But I did it anyways, and so here we are, and it takes them 5 to 6 minutes to kill the level 30 Bellanoir, which is just not gonna cut it if you're fighting the Libero version. I also tried it with Jormuntide Ignis, combining it with some Elfidrians and even a Griswold on the minigun. It didn't really change anything. It was still 5 to 6 minutes. So really, the only way to do it is with Jetragon. Jetragon is crazy OP. He's literally a legendary POW in the game. The biggest problem with him is he can only breed with himself, just like Jormuntide Ignis, which is super annoying. But at least he starts out with Legend and Divine Dragon, which is crazy OP for fighting Bellanoir. Hey! Alright guys, so the first thing I did was I caught some Jetragons, I bred them until I got a male and a female that just had the passive skills Legend and Divine Dragon. I wanted to leave the other two open so that I could get a reroll in the eggs and potentially get something like Musclehead or Ferocious. Now I read some Reddit threads where people did hundreds and hundreds of eggs before they got one of those. I didn't do 100 and I didn't get them at all. I have a second breeding base. Just a little tidbit I wanted to tell you guys. This is where I store my cakes, because if you notice, the timer never goes down on the cakes when you put them in the box. But when I store them in the fridge, I'll rack up 100 cakes, and I'll come back and there'll be 80 left, because Pin King wasn't doing his job keeping the fridge cold or something. Alright, so if we check in my POW box here, you can see that most of my Jetragons were captured ones. The ones I bred got condensed because they didn't have what I wanted. I kept the ones that I thought were decent and leveled them to level 50. You can see I fought Bellanoir at least 7 times, maybe more. I don't remember if it drops an egg every time or not. And 75 seconds is the best time I've gotten so far. Next up is to get the actual Bellanoir slab fragments. I found the most efficient way to do this is to run all 3 wildlife sanctuaries. Each sanctuary has 3 floors. You can usually find 3 chests on the bottom floor, 2 chests on the second floor, and 1 chest on the very top floor. There's also these pylons or arm things that stick out in the water out of each wildlife sanctuary, and I can usually find 2 chests on those. Each run usually yields 4 or 5 Bellanoir slab fragments. If you're lucky enough, you'll get a Libero slab fragment also. When you're done running the chest, if you have it unlocked, the most efficient way to get back to base is to hop on your flying Nimbus and ride it to your closest POW box. Super cool addition to the game. So it took me to my POW box that I set up for the actual Bellanoir fight. So what you want to do is you want to find an area that's nice and open and flat, because you don't want your POWs getting stuck on terrain or their attacks missing because the terrain is elevated or lower in some areas. So a nice flat area like this is where you want to set up a POW box to fight Bellanoir. Now the next thing you want to do after you set up your base on your flat spot is choose your loadout. I have all 3 crossbows, mainly the poison and the burn one for poison damage. I got the legendary assault rifle, and I got the new legendary single shot rifle that you can pick up from fighting the alpha boss for dash. It's crazy good. 2310 is the standard attack. Now if you ride a chillet or a quivern, then your weapon does dragon damage on top of that. Then you can stack it even more by putting an attack pendant. I have an attack pendant +2, and that'll stack your attack even more. I also have a life pendant, and then we'll probably replace that with the multi-climate undershirt. Then my armor is the POW metal helmet, the POW metal armor, and then I have the hyper shield. I have some recovery meds in my inventory, and that's really it. If you guys have something different, man, type it in the comments. Let me know what it is. Okay, the final piece to this puzzle is hands down the most important piece to defeating Bellanoir in less than 75 seconds. You have to swap your active skill on Jetragon to another dragon power. Now I want you to notice the cooldown timer. This is what I learned, is it was taking Jetragon too long to fire back at Bellanoir after he uses his first 2, 150, 140 attacks. It waits like 55 seconds before it attacks again. So I figured out by using Dragon Burst gives you a cooldown timer of only 10 seconds and a power of 55. So yeah, the other ones have 150, 140 attack power, but they take 55 seconds to recover. So in that 55 seconds, you can use Dragon Burst 5 times in a row, which would, 5 times 55, you're talking like 275 damage with Jetragon. The next thing I noticed is Jetragon hovers just like Bellanoir does. So Dragon Burst is actually perfect because Jetragon swarms Bellanoir like a pack of bees or something, and they can constantly pulse the Dragon Burst to do crazy damage. So the first time I did the Jetragon fight with her, I think I beat Bellanoir in over 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes 12 seconds, something like that. Just by making this one small change with all 20 of my Jetragons, I was able to accomplish it in 75 seconds. Without further ado, let's go ahead and watch Bellanoir go down in 75 seconds. Now this time I chose to ride a Quivern instead of a Chillet, because Chillet's super fast, he's on the ground and everything, but I had trouble shooting Bellanoir with my OP single shot rifle because Jetragons, they hover above the ground, so they were like blocking her and I couldn't see her. So I thought by using a Quivern this time I could get above and get some shots in on her. I did notice though, I don't know if it's a distance thing, like because I'm hovering above her, that my single shot rifle doesn't inflict as much damage. When I was riding Chillet, I was getting 2,500 3,000 damage per shot, per headshot, and on the Quivern, I was only getting like 1,400, which I thought was kind of weird. But maybe it's a distance thing, I don't know. I am fighting Bellanoir on normal settings. I didn't change anything, so this is all normal settings for the Jetragon to fight her. And just like that, we're down to 5 more seconds. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and Bellanoir is done in 75 seconds. Congratulations, you did it. Please drop a like, comment, and even a subscribe if you liked this video, if you thought it was helpful. Put in the comments if you guys did anything different. If you guys did something different and I try it and video it, I'll make sure to give you all the credit and shout you out, just like I did some other commenters in past videos. Thanks for watching. Game on.